I keep having technical difficulties. Let's say that. I keep recording videos and then they cut out or they delete, self delete. I don't know what's going on with my phone. It's old, hence why the quality is slightly crappy and not beautiful. Well, whatever. Who gives two shits? I'm here now, and this is my check-in for week 2 of the Artist's Way. At my last video, I'm kind of glad it self-deleted as well because I was weeping. I've been crying as usual. What's new? I've been crying about like an entry I read into this week's tasks. But let's start with last week. Last week was amazing, actually. I hit all my goals and my targets for that week, which is doing a daily entry every single day for my morning pages. I grumble a lot through them. I said this the last time. I'm still very annoyed that I have to do it. And there's nobody stopping me from not doing it, but I'm annoyed with myself that I made the promise to myself that I'm going to do it. So there's that. And I'm hitting that. I did it every morning. And I went on my artist date. It was amazing. I felt like I said into the universe, I'm going to do this. And I was kind of stressing about how it was going to happen. And I put it down and I'm like, okay, fuck it. Like, however it turns out, it turns out. And then it ended up working out perfectly. I wanted to see like a day viewing of Mickey 17. Great, by the way. Great show. Great movie. And I had like an errand to run at 11. But I've been craving this pizza slice. Like the New York style pizza, like, and it's thin and it's just like plain cheese, but it's greasy and delicious, and they serve it on a white paper plate, and then the grease kind of soaks into the plate. Delicious. I've been dying for that, but you know where I am. This is not New York. But it just so happened I found a place that sells just the slices. What are the odds of that? And I found like the movie that would start at like a quarter, like almost noon. So I was able to get my pizza and I was able to watch the movie. I didn't end up getting the pizza anyway before. I watched the movie first and then I had my pizza and I sat in the sun and I even got a burger. It was chill. I got all the things that I wanted to do done that day. And it's nothing huge. It's just something for me and my inner child, and I had a blast. Now, here's what kind of happened during week 2, what I learned from week 2. I've been dealing with a lot of anger. I mentioned this the last time as well. I wasn't aware that I was so angry. But last week's anger was a different anger. It was like more geared towards, like spiritual things. The anger of this week 2 was anger geared towards myself. I was really angry that, like, one of the prompts was asked, like, what are like the 5 major things that you do daily? And how much of it is something that you want to do? And I realized that I am a recovering people pleaser. And like, people pleasing is funny because sometimes you're not even pleasing the people that you want to please, and you're definitely not pleasing yourself. So what's the point in doing it? But what I was discovering is that I'm getting better at saying no and having boundaries with obvious takers, with people who are, not very reciprocate. I don't know, what's the word? They don't reciprocate, but people who are genuine and nice and kind and are good to me, I have the hardest time saying no and having boundaries, and I feel terrible for saying no. So a lot of my time and energy and things that I do are things that I think I should do and not things that I want to do. And then, of course, I'm filled with resentment, resentment that I don't share and I don't bring it up. And then there's no time for me to cater to my artist. I'm doing too many things that don't bring me joy, that don't spark joy, that don't cater to what I want to do in the moment. And oh shit. Sorry. Not my shit turning over. I don't have anything with me. It's pretty spur of the moment because I was sick of the shit ending. But what I was saying was that I haven't been catering to my artist. I haven't been catering to myself. And I want a happy return to myself. I remember I used to be so optimistic and so full of life and so full of energy and so full of hope. And I've just, become this depressed, emotional, overly emotional, doom spiraling, doom scrolling. Maybe I'm having like a midlife crisis. I don't know. But I've made the decision to live a more creative life. And these steps are really helping me in focusing on my blocks, my creative blocks, and what I haven't been doing. So it's great. Now, part of the reason, as I said, like the last video that I did, I was crying a lot, was this week's entry for like into the third week. And I still haven't finished the reading because I was so distraught, because the first part of the chapter was talking about like anger and like how useful it is because it highlights, the things, like it's not something that you need to act out. It's kind of something you act through. So it's highlighting the stuff that you've been like, I don't know how to say it, that you need to like work on. So like if you're angry at people who are, out there like living creatively, and like you're like, oh, like they didn't do that greatly or whatever. I don't think like that, but I think that was like the example given in the book. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to go online and spread vitriol to the person. It means that you're probably highlighting a thing that you wanted to do and you're kind of like angry. You need to dive deep and kind of figure out what that is. So that's what the anger is for. But the other part talked about shame and fear. And I realized that I harbor a lot of fear and shame. And that was really profound to me. And it ripped my heart in two because it unlocked a lot of memories of being afraid, like as a kid, sharing like your thoughts or your curiosities or, something that you enjoyed or something that like was really exciting to you, and like not put a damper, like the person's like my family member, like my parental figure is like putting a damper on it, because the idea was like to focus academically, and that was valued, and the other things weren't, and even creativity in a spiritual sense, which was also accepted, but only to a certain degree. So if you started expressing so much interest, like, and you'd share it, like, you'd be met with like criticism, and then you start to detach from it, right? Me crying again. You start to detach because you're like, it's pointless, right? That's your inner child telling you that it doesn't matter anyway. Nobody cares. And then it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I think about like when I've had like bursts of like ideas in the past, and like you share it online and then nobody validates for a year, like, see, see, it's dumb, see, it's stupid. And then you kind of just like go back into your shell. And I know the other steps, like she's going to talk about criticism, because I kind of briefly spied that. But they're talking about creating safe spaces in which to share, because like not everyone is going to like your art. And your art is basically telling on yourself. And I've been so afraid to share myself and for people to know that this is the real me. I put on the me that is expected, the me that people want to see, that I think they want to see. And it's exhausting, and I don't want to do that anymore, but I'm really scared about it. So that's great. That's great. I'll be working through that this week. So I guess next week when we come and talk about my check-in, hopefully I'll feel better about it than I do now. And so those two things combined, my fear and my shame about, not being as good as other people, not wanting people to see me, or yeah. Not people wanting people to see me. And like people pleasing. That's a nasty combination. So I'm going to dive deeper into little stuff that I can do, because like even it's week 3 and I don't feel like I've been doing anything particularly artisty. Like, creating something. I don't think I've been creating anything really. That's a lie. I've been creating a couple of stuff and nobody likes it, but whatever. Whatever. I spiral about it sometimes and sometimes I don't. I'm going to try to see consistently to make sure I'm having fun, because sometimes I pump out these things because like I feel like I need to do it and I don't really enjoy the process. And there's this line in the book that says, God, I'll deal with the quantity, you deal with the quality, because some of it is ass. I'm not gonna. But anyway, honestly, I don't have anything more to say. I'm grateful for the fact, and here I am saying more stuff. I'm grateful for the fact that I have this time off. I'm not doing anything. This is the perfect time to be doing this shit. But I'm also like my hindbrain with the academic. Like, should I go back to doing that? Like, I'm not making any money. I'm just here trying to express myself creatively. Who does that shit in a recession? So I struggle with those every day. Yeah, anyway, that's it. I have nothing more to say. I will see. I keep saying this like people are here. I'm going to see myself next week. Peace and love and light. And again, another word from our sponsors. Bye.
I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. Bitch, did you start? Did you even start? Not you complaining before you even started. That's real ghetto. This was my first ever painting I've ever done. She's not that cute, but she's not that ugly. She's alright. Who is it? Stitch, exactly. You can tell who it is. Thank you. And this is my most recent painting. I see growth. You see it. Guess what I did? Bitch, I started. Fuck the gossip and start. Fuck the gossip and start. They gonna stay in your ear talking about something that's not gonna make you no money. You're not good at that. He a hater. Don't listen to him on my soul. And if you mess up, it's okay. If you mess up, it's okay. Why are you crying? Why are you crashing out? Because look at this shit. This shit didn't make the cut. It didn't make the cut, boo. It didn't make the cut. I still ate. It's okay. It don't matter. You don't have the equipment. It's expensive. It's that. Work with what you got. Work with what you got before I hit you. Thank you.